do.
सर सर आपका माइक बंद है।
Okay, sorry for that. What I am discussing right now, let me just give you the quick on that. We are discussing the key design issues. थोड़ा पहले बोलो अभी कब से चल रहा है मैं यहाँ आपका माइक कैमरा ऑन हुआ तो अच्छा ऐसे ही लेक्चर चला गया ठीक है कोई बात नहीं चाहिए. So I am discussing over here key design issues. Like whenever we want to establish a proper communication between two networking nodes, okay, what type of the topics or which type of the constraint that I need to look for. So those constraints are like addressing, error control, flow control, framing, multiplexing, demultiplexing, and routing. In short, it will say like that, which addressing mechanism you are giving for all your nodes, which scheme you are using. In a particular communication, always errors are there. So how you are controlling those errors, that is error control mechanism, or the error control issues are there. Flow control, it means depend on the variation of your speed. Okay, sometimes it is happen like that, that speed is higher, lower, or transmission is lower speed, receiver at higher speed. So how you are controlling the flow of the data under that conditions. Framing will be there, how you are creating your frame depend on the different type of communication. So Wi-Fi, wireless, Wi-Fi, or we can say wired communication, which type of the technology you are using, depend on that, there are a different framing is going to happen. Okay, so what are those framing mechanism, or we can say de-assembling the bits, assembling the bits. Then we can say multiplexing and demultiplexing, which will be like whenever we are having a higher bandwidth available with us, but we are using some of the part of those bandwidth only. So I have give you the example over here, like your channel is having capacity of 1 Gbps, but you are only using a 150 Mbps. So how better the rest of the band you are utilizing by combining the several channels, that's considered as a multiplexing. And again, retrieve it back to the original channel, it's considered as a demultiplexing. Routing will be say like that, which type of the decision you are taking when there are a multi paths are available. Okay, so as I have given the example, like you are having a 2 channel from here, Rajkot to Ahmedabad. Now, sometimes it happens like that in one link, there are a huge traffic. Okay, majority of the signals are sending on the one channel. Now, whatever the new bits are coming to that channel, it will choose the another path. Why? Because in one channel already there are a traffic are there. So which type of the routing mechanism you are using to make it this data communication as much as faster? So that's considered as a routing. So these are the basic design issues that we need to keep in mind whenever we are doing the communication. Okay. So next we have what are this layer architecture structure and what two type of the layer architecture structure is dedicated or designed to do such type of the communication. So over here, it is given by the open system interconnection standard. So in last lecture, we have discussed about the standard. What do you mean by organization who will define the standard? Okay, so that OSI, which is considered as an open system interconnection model, and this open system interconnection model is defined by the ISO standard. Okay, so that ISO, that standard body has defined some layer structure to do any particular communication, data communication especially. So it is in the 1970s. So OSI model is rarely used anymore, but it is generalized and still valid at features discussed at each layer. So right now that we are using a TCP IP model because all the system or all the networking devices are associated with the IP. Okay, you are just adding some IP, IPv4, IPv6. That is your identity of your individual digital system. So right now we are using TCP IP model, but before going to the TCP IP model, what is a generalized 7-layer architecture is that is going to be understood over here. So that is come under that OSI architecture. So second is a TCP IP model. It itself is not much used, but protocol are going to be widely used nowadays. Okay. So majority of the stuff related to TCP IP model we are using for our communication. There specific standard or protocol IPv4, IPv6, this protocol we are using for our communication. So we will see what is the OSI reference model we have. So 7-layer architecture are there: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. So this is the 7-layer architecture is there. And it is also having there are some of the layer which will consider as a peer-to-peer communication, or some of the layer are considered as a node-to-node communication. So what is the terminology meanings are there that we need to see? But there are 7 layers: A, P, S, T, and DP. Okay, let's see. Start with the basic. I can say 2-layer, like 2-layer model, like we can say one-sided 7-layer architecture, another side 7-layer architecture, and there are intermediate nodes are there. Like you can say there is one-sided a PC, another side PC. Let's say there are 2 router are there in between. Okay, so how this layer architecture will work? So what this layer architecture will work for the down layer, for network, data link, and physical, if your device is not capable to handling up to the 7-layer, it is maximum go up to the 3-layer. What is the meaning of that? Like you can say, whenever you sending a data from here to, let's say, another PC, and in between there are routers are there. Okay, so whenever this packet or whenever the message come to that router, so router is not going to check all the information related to 7-layer. वो उसको फिर से डीकैप्सुलेट करके पूरा एप्लीकेशन लेयर तक चेक नहीं करेगा. What it will check? It will check up to the network layer only, and it is only just verifying that whatever the data is coming to my node, whether the destination address is me or not, it is matching with my address or not. So हर एक router का अपना IP address होता है. So whenever any packet came to that router, router will check whatever the destination IP address written in this frame, whether it is my destination IP address. If it is yes, then I will go with the higher layer up from transport session. Otherwise, what I need to do? I need to just resend that packet to the next node. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? अगर ये मैसेज मेरे लिए नहीं है, तो सिर्फ मैं उसको पास कौन करूंगा? कहाँ पे? दूसरे राउटर पे. So these are the task of intermediate nodes, which will check only just the IP address or networking address of that particular message or the package or the frame, you can say. While whenever it is satisfied like that, no, that destination address is for me, then it is again going to retrieve the information which is situated in transport layer, session layer related to data. But what this layer do and how the packet is going to form. So it will be like this one, like from 7, like whenever you type www.google.com, so that whatever your end window are there, which is related to the application layer. So एप्लीकेशन लेयर में से जो भी आप क्वेरी डालते हो वो नीचे आएगी प्रेजेंटेशन में, वो उसको कन्वर्ट करेगा. Then there are the session layer which is identify like that whether this website is live or not, or whether this login or logout information is available or not. Then it will decide the transport layer, which transport protocol I supposed to use, UDP, TCP, RARP, like that. Then it will decide the network, by using which particular routing table or by using which nearby node I need to travel this information. Then data link layer, which will do this framing conversion in terms of that, we can say data into the frame, putting one extra padding, header, trailer type of the framing it will make. Error control, flow control beats, they are going to edit at a data layer, and physical layer ultimately convert. Like whatever the data came, which type of the physical medium right now I have. If it is a fiber optic cable, so I need to create a signal from the data 0101. I need to create a specific type of the signal which is compatible with the fiber optic. If it is an antenna, so I need to create a signal which is compatible to such electromagnetic system. So likewise, physical layer design. So this is the type of the stuff actually going to be happening. Actually, your data is going to D7. But which each and every layer, they are adding their own identity on original data. So D7, there are identity of the application layer is added as a header 7. Not to share content. Yes, Unnati, you want to add? Are? Hello? Kya hai? Please don't do that. Okay, stop on. Any question in online, please ask. Chaliye, koi baat. Okay. So it is going to be happen like each and every layer will add their own message, so that whenever those packet will retry back, from that extra bit, it will identify like that, okay, this type of the protocol that sender has used, like what TCP, UDP, which type of the protocol you are using on that layer. So how receiver will identify? They will identify from these extra bits. So actually your data is going to D7, but by adding this extra bits, which is reached to this type of the large packet, and then this large packet is going to transmit through the transmission medium. So segments, packets, frames, beats, such type of the, I can say layered wise, I can say that structure is going to be there. Like it will create a different in segments, then it will convert into the packets, then packet combinedly creating in a frame, and frame will ultimately convert into beats. So this is going to be happen from up to down or down to up approach. Whenever it is going from down to upward, it will just removing those extra packets, and at least there at the end D7 message is going to achieved or it's going to be received. Sometimes if you have observed this stuff, I don't know, like whenever you can try someday, like you are downloading some of the movie of 600 MB. This is my observation. I think is relevant to you or not, just check it. If you want to download a 1500 MB or 1600 MB of movie, which is actual size of that particular movie, you start putting the downloading with the 1 GB plan of the scale. You can observe that after 300 or 400 MB, it will show you the message your half data packet is over. You just try someday. अभी संडे है, थोड़ा 400-500 MB बाकी है. ओके, 400-500 MB का कुछ डाउनलोड करने के लिए स्टार्ट करें. After 200 MB, you will get the message your half data packet is over. Actually, whatever your message is, whatever the, and that's the data rate, that's both are equal. but still after the half of the download, this packet is going to expire. Now, why it has happened? Because your original information is about a 1 GB. But as this all extra bit is going to add it during the communication, it is required a larger number of the data size. So यही होता है, like आपने सोचा कि भाई मैं तो मूवी देख रहा था, ये 1 GB का मूवी है, मेरे पास 2.5 GB का प्लान है, एक मूवी देखा तो सब खत्म हो गया. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? चीटिंग कर रहे हैं वो लोग. But sometimes it happens. Majority of the time I have observed this thing. Like थोड़ा सा वीडियो स्ट्रीमिंग करो, YouTube में कुछ देखो या Facebook में कुछ करो, आधे घंटे के बाद आधा डेटा खत्म. 500 MB एक्सेस भी नहीं किया है, फिर भी it happens because there are extra bits they are transmitting, and if they are calculating like that how many number of bits I received, might be it is happened like that, the data is going to charge accordingly. This is just an observation, might be it is wrong, but I have observed this thing. If you have not do this type of thing. Okay, so now there are a layer wise layer functionality are there. What is the task of physical layer, what is the task of data link layer, and so on. So as we are majority of the stuff we are discussing the physical layer and data link layer in our entire semester. So what is the task of physical layer? It is responsible for movement of individual bit, like from one end to another end in one communication media. You need to transmit that bit. So that is a basic task of the physical layer. It deals with the mechanical and electrical specification of the interface and the transmission medium, like which type of the cables are there, and for that cable, which type of the conversion you required, which type of the modulation you're supposed to require, which type of the line coding signal you require. That's all decided at a physical layer. Define and produce the functions that physical layer device or interface have to perform. Okay, so from the data link layer. Okay, Ars, बताइए, what's the funny part over here? Ars Karya? Ars Karya? Ars bhai? Ars Karya? यहाँ पे कोई हर्ष है? यहाँ नहीं, यहाँ भी देख रहे हो, यहाँ भी देख रहे हो साथ. हर्ष? Yes, Hars, do you want to say anything? Hars? अभी हर्ष माइक नहीं ओपन करेगा. हर्ष भाई, हर्ष कारिया. Okay. Okay, yes. So it will do kind of the whatever the extra that support required at a physical layer medium, their communication standard and all the stuff that is going to handle by the physical layer. बहुत सारे लोग मुझे पता है यहाँ पे मोबाइल देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे रख के. I know everything man. मैं बोल नहीं रहा हूँ कब से, लेकिन क्लासरूम में मोबाइल अलाउड नहीं है. ठीक है, लाइन में आप मोबाइल में ठीक है, यहाँ पे तो यहाँ पे पढ़ो या फिर मोबाइल में देखो. आप वहां पे देख रहे हो, मुझे मेरी ये काबिलियत पे शक हो रहा है, मैं क्या नहीं अच्छा पढ़ा रहा हूँ, ये मोबाइल में क्या देख रहा है. और पीपल आर हैविंग अ मोर इंटरेस्टिंग वर्क इन यूट्यूब राइट. होता है ऐसा, सुबह सुबह झगड़ा हो गया, डीसी एंड विशाल सर सब गौण हो जाते हैं, गुजराती में बोलते. सेकेंडरी पर्सन ये तो आएगा बोलेगा, मैं तो थोड़ी ना चैट बंद करूंगा, शाम को फिर से रिट्राई करना है जो भी था. सो it such type of stress are there in student life, but you also need to do some stress management type of the skill you need to do. So hey bhai, શું છે એમાં, શું જોવો છો તમે મોબાઈલમાં, શું જોવો છો? કઈ નહીં, એ શું છે? મોબાઈલ છે ને ભાઈ પાસે? હા, બુલંદ અવાજમાં જોરથી શું જોવો છો? શું મને નથી સંભળાતું. इतना सारी चीज यहाँ पे लिखी है, आप सीनियर की क्रिएटिविटी देख रहे हो, क्या अच्छा लिखा है, ग्रेट. इधर यहाँ पे भी कुछ बेंचेस में देख रहे थे कुछ लोग, वरना मैं फर्स्ट बेंच पे बिठाऊंगा, ठीक है? हाँ ना, ओके, इट्स ओके ना, इट्स ओके, अरे ओके, बी कंफर्टेबल। चलिए, थोड़ा एग्रेसिव आ जाओगे आप फर्स्ट बेंच। Okay, so duties of the physical layer. What physical layer do? It will do the physical characteristic of interfacing on medium. We can say what type of the transmission medium you are using. Then it is representation of the beats, like doing encoding, voltage level. It might be happen like अगर आप optical fiber use कर रहे हो तो उसके लिए millivolt चाहिए. अगर आप antenna use कर रहे हो, so we require a higher voltage. So which type of the communication media you are using, according to that different type of the voltage level encoding technique differ. Then data rate, how much speedily the data rate is going to, like if you are using a wireless communication, so in Wi-Fi there are a higher data rate, Bluetooth there are a lower data rate. So as per the communication standard differ, this data rate is also differ. The beat, sender and receive data rate, clock, beat levels and all the stuff. Okay, so it is also going to be like when you have initiate the transmission, when that person will receive the transmission, depend on the distance, which type of the synchronization mechanism you have applied. That synchronization also they need to take care. Line configuration, dedicated line or shared line. Like if you are transmitting data in broadcasting manner, so we can say there are a shared line out there. Everybody will join that and use the information. Or there are a dedicated wireless link you are providing, or physical line you are providing. Like we can say in mobile communication, you are having a dedicated line between sender and receiver. But if you are saying that there are some broadcasting message, okay, wireless broadcasting are there, so there are a shared line out there. What are the physical topology? How devices are connected in network? Line to line, point to point, point to multi-point. Transmission mode. Which type of transmission mode is there? Simplex, half duplex, full duplex. So this all duties that performed by the physical layer. Okay. What is data link layer? As we have told, data link layer will mostly do the task related to framing. Okay. So it is responsible for moving frame from one hop to the another hop. And it's a data link layer transform a physical layer to reliable link by making it appear error-free to the upper layers. So error control mechanism we applied at the data link layer. That it is going to add some extra bit, whatever the information are there. By having that information, it will pass through an algorithm, and that algorithm will generate some extra bit, which is as an identity, or we can say which is as a batch of the error control data. So whenever receiver will receive those extra data, it will compare with the same algorithm. तो वो क्या करेगा, जो भी आपका एक्चुअल डेटा है उसको ऐसे ही एल्गोरिदम में फीड करेगा और मैच करेगा. Whatever the batch you have given, whatever the extra bit you have given, whether this both data is match or not. If it is not match, then error will. Okay, and if it is match, it will give the pass. Okay, there are no error are there, so you can data to the upper layer. So likewise, there are algorithms are there through which data will pass and generate one identity or generate one extra bit. Okay, and that transmitted along with your regular communication. So duties of data link layer, creating a framing, dividing a streams of bit into the manageable data called as a frame. Physical addressing, it will header, it will define the sender and receiver, identity of sender and receiver, it will add. It frames is intended for receiver outside of the network. The addresses of the devices that connect to the network to the next one. What it is going to be identified like, what is my current address? What is my next address? So at least I need to add source address and destination address, where I am initiating, where I am transmitting, as well as what is my physical layer communication available right now. According to that, I need to decide a port address also. Like if you are transmitting the data in terms of LAN or in Wi-Fi, so if you device manager, अगर आप अपने पीसी या लैपटॉप में डिवाइस मैनेजर ओपन करो तो जितने भी आपकी कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी है, वाईफाई है, ब्लूटूथ है, या कोई यूएसबी केबल, यूएसबी ट्रांसफर करो, लैन करो, हर एक के लिए अलग अलग ड्राइवर आप वहां पे इंस्टॉल हो रहा है. So we can say whenever data will go through that particular टेक्नोलॉजी और पर्टिकुलर पोर्ट इट इज हैविंग अ डिफरेंट एड्रेस. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि लाइक अगर आप लैंड में जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी डेटा लिंक लेयर पे जो भी मैकेनिज्म यूज कर रहे हो वो वाईफाई में भी यूज करो. नहीं, देयर आर अ डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ रूल्स आर देयर. So what are those frame is indented to receive at the receiver side? According to that you need to give address. कि वाईफाई के ये पोर्ट से ये डेटा ट्रांसमिट हुआ है और इसका ये flow control. Like flow control will be say like that whenever there are overwhelming receivers. So receiver आपका slow है, आप fast data भेजे ही जा रहे हो तो क्या होगा? After some time your excessive data is getting dropped. So if such type of the thing happen कि आप कोई एक speed से data भेज रहे हो, like you are sending a data and you have identified that it will take a 1 second to reach. Okay, so according to that 1 second to reach and I am having a 5 beats simultaneously. This is my bandwidth. We have discussed about bandwidth in a first chapter if you remember. तो आपको पता है कि ये एक पैकेट को यहाँ से यहाँ जाने के लिए इतनी सेकंड लगेगा. So and my overall bandwidth is that much of beat. तो मैं एक साथ इतने सारे बीट भेज रहा हूँ. But sometimes it happens like that वहां पर इतना dedicated channel है ही नहीं. तो क्या होगा? Whatever the beat you are sending, it is getting drop in between. तो जो भी acknowledgement मिलना चाहिए रिसीवर साइड से वो मिलेगा ही नहीं. क्यों? क्योंकि पैकेट तो बीच में गुम हो गया. I can say there is a packet is getting lost in between. So whenever such type of the thing is happened, your receiver will send the negative acknowledgement. Like मुझे ये पैकेट नहीं मिला, ये पैकेट नहीं मिला. So your transmission at your sender you are identified. Right now you have sent a 5 packet, but only 1 packet they have received. So rest of the 4 packet again you need to transmit. So likewise it will generating a flow control mechanism. Like आप एक साथ 5 पैकेट भेज रहे हो but रुको 4 पैकेट तो लॉस हो रहे हैं तो आप फिर से अभी पैकेट नंबर 2 से स्टार्ट करो, फिर एक्नॉलेजमेंट का वेट करो, फिर से थर्ड पैकेट भेजो. Likewise there are a flow control mechanism are there. That's also taken care by the data link layer. Error control, as we have already told. Access control, when 2 or more devices on the same link. This data link layer protocol determines which device has a control over the link. It will consider like that if you are doing a point to multi-point or point to point, or there are multiple devices connected on the same, but कौन पहले बात करेगा, कौन पहले ये link पे data भेजेगा, that is decided also by the data link layer. So physical layer and data link layer perform the majority of the duty related to the communication which is actually happen on the ground layer. We can say at the ground level. So in data link layer, it is going to be do the up to the it will go the packet. Like it will come to a data link layer, physical layer. When it is reached to the intermediate system, then we can say this between this device to device, it is a hop to hop delivery. Okay. So this data link layer will related to the hop to hop delivery. Packet will come, will go to the data link layer, and it will decide what is my next address. Okay. And according to that, what is my next communication link that is live now, or it is available right now for this communication. So again, I need to redirect that over here. Okay. So hop to hop delivery, it is only managed up to यहाँ से यहाँ तक डेटा भेजा, बात खत्म हो गई. अभी वहाँ कौन सा डिवाइस है? Like you can say right now, I am sending my information through this LAN. Now, whatever this combined LAN connection of this institute is connected through Wi-Fi. So मैंने अपना data वो LAN में भेज दिया. So that's the hop to hop delivery. Now, from there, it will decide what is my next node. If that next node is Wi-Fi, so वो device वो Wi-Fi के लिए जो भी बीट चाहिए उसमें convert करेगा. That is not my task. Okay, so that's considered hop to hop delivery. When device to device data will came, data link layer will identify कैसा frame बनाना चाहिए, frame फिर से नया बनाना चाहिए या नहीं. What is a link over there? What is the speed over there? According to that, मुझे कैसा framing, flow control, error control, क्या bit add करना चाहिए. So likewise, from device to device, this data link layer will take care. So likewise, from A to F, it will decide a hop to hop delivery. B, then E, and like that. Whenever it is come to the network layer, is responsible for delivery of individual packet from source to destination, possibly across the multiple networks. And data link layer is oversees the delivery of packet between two systems on the same network. So what is a network layer will tell us network layer. First of all, what are the duties of this network layer? Giving a logical address, like what is a kind of the source and destination and how we will define. When I have connected the LAN cable to my system, there is one IP address is dedicated by the institute. So that is my become my network ID address. वो मेरा एड्रेस हो गया कि अभी मैं ये आईपी से अभी डेटा ट्रांसमिट कर रहा हूँ. Now from this IP, I am typing some message. So what is a destination IP address? So this is my network ID. Over there, their network ID. So from here to there, I need to send the message. So what is a network addressing? It will provide a logical addressing. So network layer adds the header to the packet coming from the upper layer. Among the other things include the logical address of the sender and receiver. It will also provide the routing information. Like when independent network or link are connected to the interconnect network, large network, the connecting device, router or switch will route the packet to the final destination. Okay. And one of the major function of the network layer is to provide the routing mechanism. So what is the task of router? Okay. होप टू होप डिलीवरी इट इज ओके बाय द डेटा लिंक लेयर, वो यहां से वहां तक भेज देगा, ठीक है. बट व्हाट इज माय सोर्स एड्रेस, व्हाट इज माय डेस्टिनेशन एड्रेस? According to that, from source to destination, addressing and the routing mechanism is all going to be handled by your network layer. Now network layer having there one dedicated table is considered as a routing table. Like whenever you connect with the router will identify which devices, or we can say which different IP addresses or networks are connected with me. उसके पास उसका IP address information होता है कि right now from this port this IP address is connected with me, this IP address connected with me. So it will create a routing table. Like right now, whatever the incoming and outgoing cabling are there, which is situated in one table. Now whenever some message will generate from one end, कि भाई एक साइड से किसी ने मैसेज जनरेट किया और उसने बताया कि मुझे ये एड्रेस पे जाना है. So what routing mechanism will do? It will identify that which path you're supposed to choose to reach to that destination. Like आप यहाँ पे ऐसा डिसाइड कर रहे हो कि आपके पास एक राउटर है, राउटर के बाहर बहुत सारे लिंक जा रहे हैं. Like you can say out of the router there are multiple cables are going. Like one cable going from Rajkot to let's say Gandhinagar, or we can say Gandhinagar via we can say Surendranagar. Rajkot to Surendranagar and then Gandhinagar. One link is going from directly Rajkot to Ahmedabad to Gandhinagar. Another will go from Rajkot to let's say Porbandar. Another link is going, fiber link is going from Rajkot to you can say that another side you can say down to the Morbi. So from one center there are different routers are there. Now if my destination address is related to Morbi, so my router should not send that packet to Ahmedabad side. Now to control that, what I need to do, I need to create one table. Like if this range or this type of the IP address will came, you supposed to route it through that level only. Like जो भी आप country लिखते हो ना कि like ओके यूएस से कोई बंदा पैकेट भेज रहा है, अगर उसने वहां पे डेस्टिनेशन एड्रेस इंडिया लिखा है तो अफ्रीका की फ्लाइट में वो पैकेट नहीं डालेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि ये इंडिया भेजना है. So that destination address I know. So according to that, I will send that intermediate node and I will do the routing in such a manner that that packet will reach to that destination. So this routing, that mechanism or that routing decision is going to be taken care at the network layer. Like what are my inputs, what are my outputs? According to that, their entire framing or that entire table is created, and according to that table, it will do that stuff. Sometimes it's happened like that, those links are going to down. कि भाई वो लिंक खराब हो गई है, अभी मेंटेनेंस का काम चल रहा है, ट्रैफिक आर देयर. Okay, so at that time network layer is also assigning that what is another traffic or we can say less traffic routing mechanism are there, और दूसरा कहाँ से मैं इसको भेज सकता हूँ, so वो appropriate distance. So according to the traffic also it will decide that routing. Okay, so this is a task of the network layer. So actually network layer will do the stuff of from hope, not hope to hope delivery, but source to destination delivery. कि भाई ये सिस्टम से ये सिस्टम तक जाने के लिए यहाँ पे राउटिंग टेबल में वो पता है, like this is a destination, so I must need to choose the link given to the next router key. So B के पास data होता है like what is the routing address or of E, what is the IP address of E, what is the IP address of C, and with that E is connected to such end system so that information is available at this router. So according to that, we'll transfer that. So source to destination delivery. While transport layer will decide into the different segments. Okay. So transport layer, which is responsible for delivery a message from process to another process of entire message. Okay. A process is an application running on the host. Like you can say you are accessing a YouTube from Firefox also, Mozilla also, Internet Explorer also. So from all these three browsers, you are accessing some information. So we can say how you need to decide. Like when I say I'm accessing the internet through Google. So first my queries reach to Google, but I am accessing that particular Google through Firefox. So I can say there are a third party, Google, Firefox. So first it will reach through Firefox and Google, and then it is reach to the final website. So there is a one path. Same website, same Google I'm just doing with the Internet Explorer. So Internet Explorer is another application, and through that I'm accessing the same. So process destination is same, but you are using a different application. So you are using a different process running on right now. So whatever the different processes are there, it must be entertained differently. So what the transport layer will do, it will decide like which type of the transport you can say like that, you want to send a packet from here to Ahmedabad, but you can send it in different manner. आप कोई बाइक पे भी भेज सकते हो, कोई कार में भेज सकते हो, या कोई बस में भेज सकते हो, या ट्रेन में भेज सकते हो. So you can say different transportation mechanism you are using to reach the destination. So which process you are using, which application you are using, according to that transport layer is going to, or that transport protocol used, and then it is creating, then it is give the information to the network. So from the session layer or from the application host layer, whatever the different applications are there that you are running, which is dividing or which is assigning a different transport protocol and the transport layer. So network layer does not recognize any relationship between those packets. It is treats everyone independently as all belong to the separate message. So it will generate like that. First message is generating from this application. So I will transfer it. Another message will generate from another application. I will transfer it. Individually, it will treat it and send the packet likewise. So मैंने packet transportation से लिया, मेरा IP address उसमें डाला, भेज दिया. अभी वो क्या प्रोसेस था कुछ था नहीं, मेरा ये IP address है, मैं उससे थप्पा लगा के आगे भेज रहा. So it is from process to process. Different process you are running, different transport layer protocol you are, or process to process delivery you have. So Firefox में यहाँ पे कर रहे हो, सामने भी बंदा भी Firefox में है. So you can say from here to there your message will came. अगर मैंने Chrome में query डाला है, लेकिन वो website Firefox में खुल जाए, ऐसा नहीं. Chrome में ही वापस मिलना चाहिए. Likewise from process to process delivery. Duties of transport layer: service point address. Like specify the process running program on one computer to specific process on the another. Transport layer header include the type of address known as a service point or port address, as well as it is a segmentation and reassembly. Message divided into the transmittable segment with the sequence number. So the reassembling message will correctly at the destination to identify or replace the package during the transmission. जो भी process है मैंने ये packeting करके सब भेजा है. Whenever like whatever the packeting I am creating at the receiver, it must be retried back. Like this type of the example we can observe during that download. Like I forgot the name of that software. Torrent, we can also, that's one. Another, we have such type of the packeting are there on internet download manager. If you see, there are 5 to 7 different nodes are there, and from each and every node there are some information they are gathering the packets, and when all the packet will receive correctly, then one entire message will get. So likewise the thing is actually happen. There are different segments. When all the packet will receive, when all the packet will receive, then it will give it to the specific process. और अगर नहीं मिल रहा है तो उसको डेटा लिंक लेयर के थ्रू बताना पड़ेगा, like this packet is getting lost, so this is a negative acknowledgement. So likewise connection control, we can say connection oriented or connection less delivery packet. which type of the packet you are transmitting, which type of the application you are doing, wired or wireless. According to that, also this transport layer will treat those packets separately. Flow control, it will also one of the layer of flow control, end-to-end flow control, rather than across the link, it will provide it. Error control, process to process error control. Like आपने कोई एक website अभी access कर रहे हो, might be happen like that, whatever the information that you have provided, it is not received properly. तो कई बार हो जाता है ना, website तो on होती है, but पूरा वो graphics वो सब नहीं मिलता. There are half website, so we can say there are some errors are there in terms of delivering the packets. Okay. Or website धीरे खुलती है, so that packets are not received yet properly. Likewise. Next is a session layer. Session layer will provide a dialogue and synchronization, or we can say timing mechanism between them. Like you have, like this majority of the time I'm giving the example when I'm discussing the session layer is related to, you can say, banking transaction. Whenever you do the banking transaction, I think there is one, or whenever you do UPI transaction, at that time there is one timer is there. Like do this transaction in 5 minutes. Otherwise, this session will over. And again, it will redirect to that page. So that particular, it's a best example to understand the session. That for how much time this information is going to fetch. And after that time, if session is over, your website is redirect somewhere else, or it will show you some timeout message, likewise the stuff. So session layer will do this type of the synchronization. Like कितने time तक packet transmission रहेगा, कितने time तक सब खत्म हो जाएगा. Like जब भी आप कोई website type कर रहे हो, so we can say once your entire website will reach to you, okay, and until and unless if you are not pressing the refresh, so जितनी भी information वो website में थी वो भी आपकी screen में है. So your session is over to fetching that website. Until and unless if you are not click on any particular window or any particular menu, it will not go anywhere. It's stuck to that one. So your session came to fetching this website, coming at the place, task is over. Now, whenever you press the another button, it is again start that session layer. Now fetch this information also, fetch this website also, and give it to your screenshot. That decided how much time it will take to transfer the stuff. So the synchronization related kind of the task is going to be handled as the session layer. So session layer is responsible for dialogue control and synchronization. It's a dialogue controller are there. It is essential maintain synchronization and interconnection among the communication sessions. What is the duties? Dialogue control, allow two systems to enter into the dialogue, half duplex, full duplex, or you can say whenever the session layer, if you want to give the example in mobile communication, जब तक वो दूसरा बंदा phone cut नहीं करता, तब तक वो session layer, or we can say the timing is going to lie. Data transfer is live. One, that phone is going to be cut. All the thing is going to be complete. Likewise, you can take a next. Synchronization, it allows the process to add a checkpoints or synchronization point. 2000 pages, it is advisable to insert a checkpoint after every 100 pages. Like 100 page भेज रहे हो, अच्छे से मिल रहा है. 100 page अच्छे से मिल रहा है. So synchronization checkpoint they are putting to receive that message properly. Next is a presentation layer. Presentation layer having an easy task to doing a translation, comparison, encryption. Okay, like मेरा message है वो ही बंदे को मिलना है. जो banking transaction कर रहे हो, वो दूसरा कोई बंदा access नहीं करना चाहिए. So that requires the security, encryption. Okay, so that 128 AES, BES, such type of the we can say encryption mechanism are there. So all the encryption on the packet or on the information it's put it by the presentation layer. Presentation layer will do the translation. आप तो google.com टाइप कर रहे हो, आपकी मशीन को कैसे पता चलेगा कि भाई मुझे google.com में जाना है? So that translation from that web page to one particular hex code, machine language code, that all the task translation, comparison of the packet is done by the presentation layer. So what are the duties? Translation. Different computer use the different encoding system. Presentation layer is responsible for interoperability between encoding method. We change the information from sender to receiver. Okay. Encryption, there is a sensitivity, like whenever you say HTTP, HTTPS, so that HTTPS is a secure. It goes with one of the encryption. Whenever you do the banking transaction, it is another layer of encryption. It will put public key, private key. all time. Don't worry, there are a detail of this each and every layer you are going to understand on internet, we can say internet network or networking subject in higher semester. So decryption receives original process to translate message back. Like आप यहाँ पे कुछ encryption करके भेज रहे हो, वो बंदे को भी पता होने चाहिए ना कि इसकी चाबी ये है. So the decryption also happen. Compression reduce the number of bits for containing the information. Importance for transmission of multimedia such as text, audio, video. So as we have seen in a first chapter, there are in one video file there are GBPS data stream required. Rather than to acquire such GBPS band, you compress it to the MBPS or in small size, then you transfer. So that compression is also taken care by that presentation. In application layer, it is provide the user control. So it's software to access the network. It provides the service such as the email, remote file access and transfer, say database management. You can say there are a different application GUI you are creating. Either you are creating a GUI for mail transfer or for video streaming or for any other kind of the website just searching or some information searching. Whenever you do the different searches, there are a different application or we can say application mechanism are there, which is going to be identify different languages also. We can say there are a different standard X500 FTM. That's related to, I can say, how human will get that data. If you are giving an email, it must be go with some email type of the applications. Okay, if you are giving a YouTube, or we can say if you are giving some video information, so it will must go with such YouTube platform. So likewise, there are a user interface base, there are application windows are there. So it is nothing but it will convert into the user interface type of the information, whatever they have received from the presentation. What are the duty? Network, virtual terminal, software version or physical terminal allow user to log on into the remote host. कि वो यूजर को वो पूरा नेटवर्क एक्सेस करने के लिए कोई GUI चाहिए ना, जहां से वो वेबसाइट टाइप कर सके, इंफॉर्मेशन ले सके. That is provide a physical terminal or software version of those physical terminal. File transfer, access and management allow user to read, change, retrieve the file. Mail services, directory services. So these are the stuff it is going to be, and these are the different protocol. I think it's not that much of visible, but at every layer they are having their own protocol. Telnet, SMTP, HTTP, FTP, IMMP, POP3, SNMP. These are related to the website, mail, related to the application protocols. While when we can go with the presentation is MPEG, this compression standard, ASCII, TLS, SSL. When it is come for the session, it's a NetBIOS, SAP, then TCP, UDP, IPv4, IPv6, ICMP, IPsec, ARP, MP. So these are the different protocols are there, which is applicable for the different layer. So कौन सा message है, कैसे भेज रहे हो, क्या उसका video है, text है, क्या according to that protocol is going to choose and packet is going to come. So how much time we have? 3 minutes. So comparison with the TCP IP model, we will discuss on the next lecture. We have a 3 minutes of time, so if you have any question, any query, you can ask me. Online student, please write your enrollment number and name in a chat box. Then after you can leave. If you have question, you can open your mic and tell. From TC1, TC1. 59, 79, 57, 66, 163, 54, 171, 69, 30, 13. TC1 में 13, 52. TC1 154. चलो TC2 95, 91, 92, 128, 136, 138 090 132 88. Right, what? 88.